The Run with Manny Wilson podcast is brought to you by Fifth Investments. Sports betting is cool, but you can really get the most out of your money trading in the stock market. You can make money when stocks go up, and you can make money when stocks go down. But all you need is a little guidance. So use the Fifth Investment Stock Trading Journal to help you get started right away. Fifth Investments is a fantastic resource for daily trade ideas, market analysis, news, and information for navigating the stock market. They got you covered with long-term, short-term, options trading, and more. So go to fiftinvestments.com and use the promo code THERUN for $20 off your premier membership, or just sign up for free. Trade the stock market and perfect a skill that's going to last you a lifetime.
The information is not trading or investment advice. The newsletter is only a personal blog that is being offered publicly for general information purposes only.
Now tuned into the greatest.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast. The best sports podcast there is.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. We got a great episode for you today, but of course, man, I appreciate you tuning in to the first interactive sports podcast. You know, a community that makes sure your voice is heard. So if you hear something you disagree with, that you agree with, that you dislike, that you do like, or even if you just want to outsmart me on something I said, give us a call, 219-413-9405. It's a lot going on in the NBA. I'm going to be real right off the bat. We're talking about the NBA today. It's been a lot going on in free agency, so the other sports are kind of taking a backseat role right now. It was a lot going on in the NBA, and I didn't get to touch on everything because last week, it was actually my birthday week. And I got sick, man. It was bad. It's not for the reason you might think immediately of like drinking or nothing like that, but I caught food poisoning. So even toward the end of the week, it was bad. It was bad. I'm not gonna get into too much detail, but I'm sure you can imagine what I'm trying to relate. That it was bad. If you ever had food poisoning, you know. But let's switch gears again. Switch gears. That's a completely different story. Our free agency is here. Damian Lillard has finally requested a trade out of the Portland Trail Blazers, and this about damn time. Because, man, we know he's a great player. He's one of those guys that can really help a team win a championship, but he was so loyal to the Portland Trail Blazers that he almost missed his opportunity to actually go win a championship. But now I think the time is perfect for him, and he's going to no other team other than the Miami Heat. Now, it's not official, so let's not get too hyped. He's not 100% going to Miami Heat, but I'm almost positive he's going to go to the Miami Heat. That's the team he desires right now. There's some other teams that's in the conversation. The Clippers, Timberwolves, Celtics, and the Pelicans are all in the conversation. And there may be other teams that may enter the conversation as you listen to this podcast as well, or as you continue on about your week, continue on about your day, enjoy the 4th, whatever the case is. I'm sure there's going to be more teams added to the fuel. However, put yourself in Damian Lillard's shoes for a second. You're a 7-time NBA All-Star. You played 11 seasons in the NBA. You've already shown and proved to everybody in the NBA that you clearly are that guy in the NBA. You're clearly him in the NBA. You've made game-winning shots. You've led your team to the conference finals. You've led your team to the conference semifinals with little to no help on your team. You've proved everybody wrong. You've shown your doubters. You've proved those who were hating on you, saying you're not as good as him. You've done all of that. You've already shown everybody everything that you could possibly prove. And now you just want to go win a ring. You spent your whole career playing with subpar guys and guys who are still trying to develop. Because your organization sucks and they're trash, your front office does not have the brains to bring people there. And your market, honestly, is just not that attractive to bring big names to play for your team. That's Damian Lillard's situation. So if I'm trying to leave this situation, why the hell would I put myself in another situation that's damn near the same, going to play for a small market team like the Timberwolves or like the Pelicans, where there's a lot of young guys who are very good at basketball, but they don't know nothing about winning no championship. They don't know nothing about leading a team. They don't know anything about even proving themselves in the league yet because they're still doing that. So to me, those teams right off the back are eliminated. The Timberwolves, Pelicans, boom, that's not happening. He's not going to another small market team, which is why I say Miami Heat, yeah, they're not the Lakers. Yeah, they're not the Celtics, but they have respect. They've won championships, and also they have guys who've been to the finals on multiple occasions. Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler both have been to the NBA finals on multiple occasions, and they've both already proved themselves in the league. And then to add to that fact, that organization of the Miami Heat, they're already getting things in play to make sure Dame is going to be able to fit on that roster. They've traded some of the guys that they had last year that they went to the finals with. They had to trade Victor Oladipo. They got some draft compensation. They didn't bring back Gabe Vincent, who was a great guard. They sent him to LA. Well, they didn't send him, but he's a free agent, so they didn't bring him back. Max Strus, another great guy, went to Cleveland. Miami Heat didn't bring him back. They're making space for Damian Lillard's 4-year, $176 million contract that he signed back in 2021. Because if they don't have the room, he's not going to be there. And I think it's a damn good job by the Miami Heat because they see the guy who wants to play for them. They know they want this guy to play for them. So they say, all right, what do we got to do to sacrifice to make sure we can bring Damian Lillard here? All right, I'm sorry. Hey, Gabe, you're a great player. You had a great run with us, but we can't bring you back. All right, go find another deal. We just went to the finals. You're going to be able to get a solid deal, get some change in your pocket. Cool. Max Strus, same thing with you. Great run that you had with us, but we can't bring you back. Go ahead, find another deal with somebody else. I'm sure they're going to pay you. You just had a great playoff run, went to the finals, all of that. Do your thing. Sorry, we can't bring you back. As long as the Miami Heat continues to keep Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, they will be all right. Trade whoever else you got to trade. It don't matter who you trade. As long as you can keep Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler and you somehow land Damian Lillard, oh, you don't have anything to worry about. I promise you, y'all will be right back in the Eastern Conference Finals or possibly right back in the NBA Finals if you can keep Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler. So those reasons there it's a perfect fit for Damian Lillard already. He already said that he wants to play with the Miami Heat. So to me, yes, it's going to be the Miami Heat. It's nothing official that he's going there, but I'm willing to bet my bottom dollar that Damian Lillard is going to play for the Miami Heat. It would have to be something extremely unusual for him to not go play with the Miami Heat. Now, I know some people here are Celtics fans. I know some people are worried about the Celtics. They're saying, okay, with the Celtics, they can probably get Damian Lillard. You know, they got Kristaps Porzingis, which is he's a great power forward. And they said they're still in the market looking for other players. This is cool. But as I mentioned about that 4-year, $176 million contract from 2021, the Boston Celtics ain't got it like that right now. They would have to split up Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and to me, it's just not worth it, especially when you already have a team that fits so well around Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. The only thing the Celtics are missing is, yes, a point guard, which would be great if they got Damian Lillard and could keep the two, but I really do not see that happening with Damian Lillard in that contract. The Celtics will have to give up a lot of players, and I don't think they're willing to give up that much of their team that they've had so much success with over the past few years. So Celtics, they have a shot, but I highly doubt that's likely. And the Clippers here, who the hell would want to go on that side of LA right now, man? It's been a complete shit show on that side of the LA with the Clippers, man. I mean, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, this has not lived up to anything that it's supposed to been. In the past 4 years, these guys have played 58 total playoff games together, injury after injury, whether it's a role player, whether it's a star player who's supposed to help them out. I wouldn't want to step foot on that side of LA. I don't care how much promise this team is going to show if I go play for them, but ain't no way in hell I'm going to the Clippers. I'm kind of putting them off to the side, but I would be very surprised if Damian Lillard goes and plays for the Clippers. Other than that, the front office damn near need to tear that up, but Miami definitely has my vote. Now, here we go. I got some more stuff too because I got a couple side notes. I'm not going to hold you too much because we're going to get into some news in a minute. As I mentioned, it's a lot of free agency, but some of this stuff I'll cover as we continue on. One thing about free agency, out of all the teams that's been making great deals and, you know, grabbing this guy and picking up this guy and signing this guy to a big max contract and all of that, the Detroit Pistons have not been that team that's been doing that. What the hell is going on, man? Because y'all know I'm a Pistons fan, and I just got to say my piece here. We have not picked up anybody, and I'm trying to be a patient, logical Detroit Pistons fan, but it's really bothering the hell out of me that we ain't got a single soul out of free agency yet. I mean, we ain't got no Torrey Craig. We ain't got anybody DiVincenzo. As I just mentioned, Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, all of these great names and these great players that's been on the free agency market that we have not picked up at all. Miles Bridges, we ain't even tried to pick him up. He's a Michigan guy and we ain't even tried to get him. The man is coming off a lawsuit case and we ain't even tried to get him. We have money to offer. What do we hold it for? What are we pocketing this cheese for? Like, to me, it's insane. We have not done anything and we're letting so many guys pass us up. And it's extremely disappointing. I'm not going to lie to you, man. You got to just give me a second here. Give me a second to vent. As a distressed Pistons fan right now, it's extremely frustrating. Cause why? It's insane. I'm gonna leave it at that. Next side note, the New York Knicks, they're kind of nice over there. I think the New York Knicks are definitely taking some steps in the correct direction. They picked up DiVincenzo, who is also a free agent. They have Jalen Brunson, and they still have Josh Hart. I think the next move for the New York Knicks in order to develop into an elite Eastern Conference team would truthfully be to trade Julius Randle. Now, Julius Randle was once overhyped in that New York market because he plays for the New York Knicks. As I always say, you play for the Knicks and you're somewhat decent, they're going to overhype you up and make you a star. That's what they did with Julius Randle. He's a great player, but he was never once one of the best forwards in the NBA. Let's be real about it. That was never the case. And considering that Julius Randle is still on this team, I don't think he would want to take a lesser role for this team when he becomes 100% healthy. And to me, I'd be damned if I ever even think about running my offense through Julius Randle when I have guards like DiVincenzo, Jalen Brunson, and Josh Hart. It's just not going to happen to me. So I would say let's get rid of Julius Randle while he has market value right now because he plays for the Knicks. Let's ship him off somewhere, bring in some guys who have some nice skill, who can rebound, play defense, or even just some bench support guys that can add extra depth to that bench. But something has to give because Julius Randle will not be the answer in the long run, especially when you plan on running a game plan through your guards like guys with Jalen Brunson, because clearly he's the one that's going to make this team pop as he did all last season and through the playoffs like they displayed in that playoff series against the Miami Heat. So that's my piece with the New York Knicks. We got some news coming up as well, so stay tuned. We got more hot takes as well. Even though those were the side notes, we got some hot takes as well coming up. James Harden, he's looking for a trade as well, so of course we got to talk about James Harden. Victor Wembanyama was drafted number 1. Of course, we got to talk about that as well. Dallas Mavericks made some moves. Couple things going on, so stay tuned and we will be right back. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson. Got some news for The Run. Starting off in the NBA, as I mentioned, this is an NBA day today for free agency. The Chicago Bulls' Nikola Vucevic is staying with the Bulls as he recently signed a 3-year, $60 million extension. The Phoenix Suns are making moves as well. They've signed veteran shooting guard Eric Gordon, as well as the former Cavs forward Yuta Watanabe. The 76ers, they've agreed to a deal with the veteran defensive stopper Patrick Beverley. The Dallas Mavericks and the three-point specialist Seth Curry have agreed to a deal. The Boston Celtics, they've traded their defensive player of the year in Marcus Smart with a 3-team deal with the Memphis Grizzlies and the Washington Wizards. Smart is headed to the Memphis Grizzlies as the Boston Celtics receive Kristaps Porzingis. And the Wizards, they will receive point guard Tyus Jones from the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, the Washington Wizards, they've been all in the mix this offseason. After trading Bradley Beal, the Wizards acquired Chris Paul, and they've now shipped Chris Paul to the Golden State Warriors for Jordan Poole, along with draft assets. Now, the Los Angeles Lakers, they've made some moves as well, signing Taurean Prince, Cam Reddish, and the Miami Heat point guard Gabe Vincent, who is also a free agent. Now, the Atlanta Hawks, they finalized a trade deal involving forward John Collins, sending him to Utah for Rudy Gay and future second-round draft picks. All right, now we got a couple of hot takes here. Let's switch up the vibe again, man. Now, James Harden, as I mentioned, is looking for a trade. He wants out of Philly. And personally, I just don't understand what the hell is making James Harden so unhappy. I mean, this is an amazing situation for James Harden in Philly right now. He's been with this team. They had an actual competitive playoff run. Truth be told, they had that playoff series against the Celtics somewhat in the bag, but James Harden, along with Joel Embiid, both did not play well in that elimination game, and that's what ultimately did it. That's what ultimately caused them to lose the game. This is his third trade request in 4 years. And to me, at this point, it's going to hurt James Harden's legacy if he continues to request trade after trade after trade. It's going to hurt James Harden's narrative of a player and what he can bring to a team if he continues to request trades like this. Because what do you think teams are going to find desirable in a guy who's looking to leave every year after they don't win a championship? I mean, in Houston, you had your scenario. You were the man. You were that guy putting up 40 and triple doubles, doing your thing. The spotlight was all on you, but you were kind of leaning away from that. You wanted to be more competitive. You wanted to win a championship. So you say, all right, bet. Let's team up with Kevin Durant. Let's team up with Kyrie Irving, and let's go to Brooklyn on this somewhat of a super team, and let's play together, and let's actually win a championship. And James Harden, he accepted a smaller role to play a distributor with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, but eventually found himself unhappy. So now this is another situation where, okay, it's supposed to work with you, but you found yourself unhappy. Okay, all right, cool, whatever. It's an excuse. It didn't work out. Kyrie had a lot of drama. A lot of people put the blame on Kyrie Irving in that situation. Kevin Durant balled out. Nothing of why he would want to leave Kevin Durant. But okay, people blame Kyrie Irving. He wants to get away from the drama with Kyrie Irving. Okay, we give him that excuse. But now you go over to Philly with Joel Embiid, who won his first MVP, who clearly showed he's dominant, who's clearly shown all he needed in Philly was another superstar to go on a legit playoff run, which they did, but just did not close out the series. And then now, off season, you talk about, all right, I want a different team. I want a different team. I'm not happy in this situation. I'm requesting the trade. So I'm legit curious. I don't have an answer for y'all, and I'm gonna be honest about it. What team could James Harden possibly go to that makes this man satisfied? Because you've had the team where you get all the spotlight, you do everything, you get your numbers, you get your stats, but you don't play in meaningful games toward the end of the season. And now you are in the situation where you play in meaningful games, but you just fall short, but you still want to trade. So I just genuinely do not understand. What is it that could potentially make James Harden happy for a franchise? What is it that he's missing on a team? I can't think of a single team in the NBA that could satisfy this man in terms of having a correct organization, having the correct pieces to make him win. Like, who do you want to play for, dude? Seriously, you've been in so many different situations. And at this point, it's getting hard to put you in a situation to possibly make you happy. You've been in great situations for the last 4 years, but you've requested a trade out of each and every one of those situations. So I don't know what the hell is going on. I legitimately cannot think of a team that would work for James Harden. So you guys got to tell me. Maybe this is something we got to revisit. So shoot me a call, 219-413-9405. Let me hear what team you think James Harden would actually be happy with if he goes there and gets that trade there, because I legit don't know, man. Even you put him with any of these super teams in the league, it's still a great chance that he will be unhappy. So that's my thoughts on that. And then also too, man, to break my piece here, I want to talk about Victor Wembanyama because he's a huge prospect. He's been getting a lot of attention in the NBA draft, which he should. I mean, the guy is 7'6", can dribble a ball, 8-foot wingspan. He has moves. He can shoot the ball as well. So he deserves all the attention that he's getting in this draft. But I just want to say, man, I'm not going to talk about if he's going to be a bust or not, because truthfully, we won't know until he plays. And I highly doubt that he's going to be a bust, mainly for the fact that he was drafted to the San Antonio Spurs. I mean, I feel like if you're going to live up to any type of destiny or any type of legacy that the media is putting out for you to have, the San Antonio Spurs is a damn good direction for you to start. I mean, Tim Duncan, a number 1 pick. David Robinson, or a top 5 pick. Let me correct these because all of these guys weren't number 1 picks. Tim Duncan, David Robinson, George Gervin, Ginobili, Tony Parker, all of these guys had somewhat to great expectations, especially with Tim Duncan and David Robinson, but they developed into great players, whether they were centers or not. They were all great players. So to me, when you add a guy like Victor Wembanyama, who's 7'6" tall, it's going to be a great recipe to make some shake, especially when you got guards like Keldon Johnson there as well. So I think this is a great run for Victor Wembanyama. I think this is a great run for the Spurs. It's going to really spark something up for them, honestly, because they can continue to bring more pieces around him. Give it a couple years. Let's not let the media's expectation control ours, because that's not true. This guy's still only 19, if that. And he still has to put in the work and do his thing. But I think the Spurs organization is going to get him right because they've been getting so many other great players right for so long. And this organization has proved to develop time after time. So, hey, man, again, if you heard anything you dislike, disagree with, give us a call, 219-413-9405. And look, hey, I appreciate you guys hanging with me, especially hanging all the way to the end. And I appreciate you. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at The Run Podcast. You can follow my personal page as well at I am Manny Wilson. And I appreciate you tuning in, whether you're listening to me on Spotify, iPodcast, iHeartRadio, TheRunUSA.com, or even if you're watching on YouTube at The Run Podcast. Now, I appreciate you, man, and I will be back later on next week. I'm sorry for getting sick. I didn't mean it. But don't eat Burger King. That was the word on the street. Don't eat Burger King. But all right, man, I'll be back later on next week, and so on and so on and so on. The Run with Manny Wilson podcast is brought to you by Fifth Investments. Investing is the easiest way to double your money, especially when you do it right. Most of us need help with getting started, right? I'm telling you right now, Fifth Investments is the easiest way to take your first step. You can sign up for the daily trading journal, weekly newsletter, including trade ideas, market analysis, news, and information on navigating the stock market. They got you covered with long-term, short-term, options trading, and more. So go to fiftinvestments.com and use the promo code THERUN for $20 off your premier membership, or just sign up for free. Trade the stock market and perfect a skill that's going to last you a lifetime.
The information is not trading or investment advice. The newsletter is only a personal blog that is being offered publicly for general information purposes only.